in the delivery of social services, but we have over 60 plus social service agencies in Cobourg and Northumberland that act independently and are independently funded and have their own mandate and are registered legal organizations, nonprofits, and charities. We many times have social services that have no linkage or formal partnership to the county that come forward to the municipality to request either use of land or buildings, etc. So I think what I'm understanding from Councillor Burkett is what he heard from the delegation was they went to the county. The county's like, okay, we're willing to work with you. We don't have the land. The land use falls to the mandate of the municipality. The municipality is not being a provider of social services should this project move forward. We are the providing of the land. So the provision of land and land use, in my opinion, falls within the municipality. So I do think that Councillor Burkett is trying to achieve a way of achieving that process so that official partnership conversations can happen with the county. And by no means, I'm not trying to put words into the mouth of the county because I wasn't privy to those meetings. So I do understand the rationale of having an approved site with the underscore to the community that a licensing agreement at the end of the day would achieve these operations, as well as council would again have the opportunity to approve what happens on that land. So our role is to look at land use and to treat an application through that lens. Again, I politely can agree to disagree, but I just think it was very important to articulate my point of view. So thank you for those few moments, Mayor Coleman.
By all means, I open the floor to anyone else who'd like to share their opinion regarding this motion to amend. Seeing none, by all means, Councillor Mouton.
I would just say that I would not support the amendment that is on the floor for a number of reasons.
Thank you very much. By all means, Deputy Mayor.
Mayor, please look through to the clerk if this question is allowed for me to ask of the members of council who are opposed to this. And I can appreciate the opposition for several reasons, and I can appreciate the support for several reasons. If it's not something like this, then what is it? What role does the municipality play in supporting social services and the county in addressing the need that our community is facing? I wish I had that answer, but I can appreciate that we're trying to support some creative solutions. We heard that we don't want in a residential area, so we're trying to look at it as another temporary use on town lands that will take some time to be created. So if I may, Mr. Mayor, I would like to ask the members of council who are opposed to this or have some feedback to the group is what other options do we have as elected leaders at the local level that have tools in our municipal toolbox to support social services and the county? It's not our core mandate. I'm very aware of the lane that we drive in, but we can carpool in those lanes. And I'm just trying to understand, if it's not this, to borrow the question we've heard in delegations on both sides, if it's not this, then what is it?
Well, I will open the floor to anyone who'd like to answer that question. And if there is none, then I'm happy to address it as well, but I turn it over to the council should they wish to answer. Councillor Garland.
I wish I had the answer too. There isn't an answer except that the county and the province have to step up. I'm not in support of the sleeping cabin for many reasons, as Councillor Mouton mentioned. My thing is it's a band-aid solution, and all it does help in the short term, but what it does is gives the county and the province more time to drag their feet. Because now there's something in place where if we keep giving the province and the county time to drag their feet, nothing will happen. So for me, by us refusing this for a lot of reasons, there's concerns on both parts. I feel for the people. There's concerns on the part of the residents. There's a gamut of things. There's liabilities. The the 1% rule that's out there for liability to the community is enormous. And I think that when Pacini sees that this isn't happening, that they gotta step up to the plate. There's hotels that aren't being filled, there's motels that aren't being filled, there's places that can be used for shelters. And the province can step up to the plate and put a shelter there for people to use. But if we keep putting Band-Aid solutions on them, they're not gonna step up to the plate. And it's not our mandate as a municipality to do that, it's the county and the province. So again, I can't support the motion, and I think the province needs to step up along with the county. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor. Is there anyone else who would like to speak? Seeing none, I will take the opportunity to share my viewpoint and for better or for worse. I, at the beginning of my mandate as mayor, worked very closely with the Sleeping Cabin Collective. We had meetings early on about best ways forward, and it was under my direction, or at least my recommendation, that this was a path forward to take. And I was very, very supportive of the group and have been up until very recently. I think the group has done an exemplary amount of work, and unfortunately, as again, the great philosopher Aesop says, we are judged by the company we keep. And I think that is important when we look at this particular issue. The community around the Northumberland Sleeping Cabin Collective was making great progress. They were moving this community in the right direction towards support. They were winning the public battle. That has changed drastically in the last 2.5 to 3 weeks. And unfortunately, that has to do with the illegal consumption sites that are currently popping up in and around Cobourg. These sites have been, with or without cause, linked to members of the Greenwood Coalition and have been linked to members of the Sleeping Cabin Club. And unfortunately, a great amount of work that has been done by the Sleeping Cabin Collective is being tarnished by the decision.
Maybe you should have come to our event last week instead of lurking in the hallways. Maybe you should have joined Deputy Mayor Beattie and Councillor Burkett in attending the conversation. You want to use me as a scapegoat for your reasoning why you're not going to support this initiative? That's embarrassing, and that's on you. Shame on all of you. But go ahead, finish.
We'll take a 10-minute recess. Thank you very much. Are you going to follow the rules of decorum, or are you going to continue with your own person?
I'm going to continue to hold you and the rest of council accountable for the way that you're dismissing residents in this community.
I'm going to officially ask you to leave the courtroom now. Sorry, the chambers.
Happy to. This is embarrassing.
I'd just like to say shame on you as well, because from your speech, you seem that you're concerned.
Thank you very much. This isn't a place to lecture. Thank you very much.
Which they just discussed, it doesn't impact your property taxes at all. Who puts renovations on their homes? Or
You can leave.
I think we can continue on with the meeting now. Thank you.